This week in our Kern Back in Business segment, 23 ABC's Scott Sheehan spoke with the Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce and local businesses about the recent minimum wage increase and how it will impact our local economy. Scott.
Danielle, on the first of the year, the minimum wage rose across the state. The wage increase is part of a state measure to bump up the minimum wage statewide to $15 an hour in 2023. And our local business community I talked with has mixed to leaning more towards negative feelings against the change.
Once the clock hit 2019, California's lowest paid workers got a raise when the state minimum wage increased. The state minimum wage for small businesses that have 25 employees or fewer went up from $10.50 an hour to $11 an hour, while minimum wage for workers at companies with more than 25 employees went up from $11 an hour to $12 an hour.
It's based on the minimum wage is minimum wage, and the only differentiation that people get is the size of employer. By 2023, all employers will be at $15 per hour.
The minimum wage increase is part of a state law to move to $15 an hour, then to a system based off of a consumer price index or cost of living index. But Ortiz says when it comes to Bakersfield and Kern County, California is not a one wage size fits all.
What is a living wage, or what it should be a minimum wage in the Southern California area, Los Angeles area, and San Francisco Bay Area may not necessarily be right for the Central Valley.
Local businesses have already begun adjusting their payrolls with a new minimum wage increase. For some, like the Wonderful Company and Self-Help Credit Union, they moved their employees to $15 an hour this year instead of waiting until 2023.
We actually felt that it was the right time to do that, and it's a great opportunity for us to invest in our employees.
While other local small businesses, like the Lamont Auto Repair, are nervous about how the increased cost of wages will impact their bottom line and prices.
I see it as something good for my workers, but it does bring challenges to us, adjusting our prices, based on the minimum wage.
In a statement to 23 ABC, the Wonderful Company's Director of Communication wrote that about 2,000 of the roughly 4,500 employees here in Kern County got bumped up from minimum wage to $15 an hour. And Ortiz says with a lot of workers seeing a quick increase like that, it impacts the rest of the economy.
If you're going to $15 an hour, what was a pretty substantial hourly amount over minimum wage now becomes just the bare minimum. And so you have to make changes in your payroll, not just for those minimum wage workers, but really throughout the system, throughout your entire payroll.
For a second-generation small business like the Lamont Auto Repair, owner Espinoza hopes the rise of minimum wage won't let him be as competitive as the bigger auto shops.
We're a small business. We try to stay competitive. We have to stay competitive with the big guys. And I don't like raising my prices in an outrageous amount.
For Self-Help Credit Union, they see the chance of increasing their employees' wages as a boost to the local economy.
A higher wage for our employees, which gives them more purchase power for them and their families, and that actually helps the local economies as well because they can spend a little bit more on the things that they need.
As for job availability moving forward, there are a couple of thoughts. Ortiz thinks small businesses might need to make cuts to keep costs and prices down.
And the burden in terms of increased costs is going to fall disproportionately on small businesses, which make up about 75 to 80% of our membership. So, what you're going to see potentially is, less ability to invest in your business, less ability to hire more.
While Gonzalez hopes the increase in pay will increase the quality of employees at his business.
I think it will. I think they will see that Self-Help is looking to provide great environment for employees as well as an investment in our employees by even being ahead of the curve.
Now again, this statewide minimum wage will continue to increase until we get to $15 an hour in 2023. Then it'll go up based off the Consumer Price Index. If you'd like more information about how minimum wage could affect Kern County, you can go to our website at turns23.com or tune into our Facebook Live question and answer with Nick Ortiz, who's the president of the Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce. For Kern Back in Business, I'm Scott Sheehan. Now we'll send things over to Studio B and Mike Hart, who's with members of the county's Human Services Department.